I'm Sally Stanton and welcome to Snacks and Suitcases, the podcast packed with tips, tricks and real-life stories to make travelling with kids of all ages a whole lot easier and way more fun. And today it's all about the expat mum life in India.
Mom, can I pack all my teddies?
Okay, let's get started. You might recall my friend Rachel McCallum. She was on the podcast sharing her brilliant flying with babies tips not long ago. But she also lives in India with her partner Gemma and their two kids, and a lot of people wanted to know more about her life there and what it's like bringing up children in India. So this time we are diving into the colourful expat life of Dutch-speaking Aussie mum Rachel, her British wife Gemma, and their two boys who are learning multiple languages and growing up in Chennai, India. In this episode, we chat about the realities of expat life, the culture shocks that surprised her, family-friendly places to visit, food highlights, yum, food, you know I love that, and why India is so much more than just the media stereotype. So whether you're a teacher dreaming of working overseas, an expat in the making, or simply wondering if India deserves a spot on your family travel bucket list, this episode is for you. Rachel, this is how I imagine India. Colour, chaos, cars, and holy cows on the side of the road.
Oh, my word.
Enlighten me, Rachel. Am I just ignorant? Have I been brainwashed by cinema?
It is true. It is definitely true. However, it's not like how the media presents it. I think a lot of the time it gets a bad rap because it's only sort of like more negative things come out into the media rather than all the positive stuff that happens here and all the good. It is definitely colourful. When you fly back into Chennai, you look out of your window of the plane and you just see, I couldn't even tell you how many colours of different things, different buildings, and everything's intense and on top of each other, but it always works. I don't know how. The chaos is definitely an organised chaos. Everyone just sort of knows what they're doing and gets about their day. For example, on the way to school, on the way to work, we drive down this sort of road that's on the side of our school property, and people have named it Toothbrush Alley because when you're going down it, there'll be people there brushing their teeth on the side of the road next to a cow that's just chilling out. Other people are like walking to go and get their water for the day. When you're looking to the right where all the homes are and the houses, there's these little alleyways where people live. And in that alleyway, there's another four houses. And you're just like, how does this all work? But it does. And it's so different to what we have at home. But it's what makes India, right? Like that's what it is.
Well, there's how many people in India now? Over 1 billion?
Definitely over 1 billion. I think there's something like 14 or 15 million here in Chennai.
Wow.
We live south of the city. So like probably about 40 minutes south of the city. And so we have a slightly different idea of what that intensity is with people. Yeah, it's definitely full on when you get into the city and there's just so much to see and do. And you turn a corner and you've got like all these food places that you can eat at. And then you turn another corner, which is 5 seconds away, and you're on this like luxury street, which has got all these beautiful shops. And like, wow, it really is that juxtaposition of this versus that. You can have a cow on the side of the road with its little friends, like 5 of them just hanging out. And then in the same breath, a Maserati drives past.
Gosh.
It's just so eye-opening and different. It's really hard to describe unless you've seen it yourself.
And what is Chennai like for families? Is it a family-friendly city?
It's different to the north. It's definitely up and coming and they're bringing a lot more here. We get a few more shows now and like the cricket is huge here. And the Chennai Super Kings, everyone's just obsessed with cricket. The kids are very welcome and accepted here. Like they're sort of worshipped in a sense. They're very, very special. So they love to play. But parks-wise, there's not as many as up north. There's no footpaths, which makes it challenging to, ride a bike and stuff. But it's definitely an outdoor kind of place. The coastline it's a bit like, Australia. So many people live on the coast because that's what happens. It's the same here in Chennai. On the weekend, people go to the beach and you're hanging out with the dogs and the cows and these people that have made a cricket pitch on the sand.
Wait, when you say the cows, on the beach?
Oh, I was staying at a hotel last weekend, and I had to giggle. I looked out my window and I was watching these cows just slowly make their way through this body of water, just having a great time. I was like, I didn't know cows could do that. There you go.
These are just wild cows living off the land.
Yep. And it's not uncommon. Like in one of our previous homes here in Chennai, our driver opened the gate to take the car out, and there was a cow just like right there in front of our gate. And so there's our driver trying to like give it a little gentle tap to be like, come on, off you go, off you go. So there's literally cows walking around everywhere. Like I don't bat an eyelid at it anymore.
Because I think most people know that cows are considered gods in India.
Yes.
Am I correct or am I over?
No,
Yeah.
they're definitely sacred. So like beef isn't a thing here. Like you go to McDonald's and there's no beef burgers, or, Hungry Jack's, which they call Burger King here, there's no beef, which is something that you do miss. It sounds silly, but if you go into a Macca's and you're really craving like a quarter pounder or something, it just doesn't exist. It's just not a thing.
Really? So all over India,
yes.
There's no beef?
Yeah. Not in that sense, no. You can get beef, but it's more something that you would get at a hotel or at restaurants, and sometimes it's buffalo, which is also interesting.
Before you settled in, what worried you the most about living in India? Did you have any worries?
Absolutely. Yeah, I did. Coming from Singapore, it was definitely, Singapore's so organized and structured, and there's routine, and it's just, everything's just easy. I was concerned that it would be too much for me here in India. I didn't know enough about it. And I think that comes back to the comment about the media. The media really can present India in a certain way that, it's unsafe, or it's this or it's that. And I had those preconceived notions. And then when I came here, it was right about the chaos and everything, but it works. And that's what really shocked me. I was nervous about, safety, but where we are in Chennai, I've never felt unsafe. I think that's something to really, really think about if you do come and visit. It's not, like, I wouldn't go walking down the street at night anyway at home. I just wouldn't do it. So I would probably feel safer to do it here than what I would at home, which says a lot.
Gosh.
The health as well, like look a little bit nervous about what I was going to, encounter here in regards to eating food. Was that going to sit well with my body? How would I adjust? But all of that has also just been awesome. It's been fantastic. And it's nothing, I've touched wood. I've never had an issue with an upset stomach or anything like that. Not once.
You're
not in 8
kidding
years.
me. Okay. Look, I've said this before. I get really worried about gastro overseas. So that's why I've avoided Bali, some Southeast Asian countries, and India. I'm so scared because the stories I hear, everyone says it's worth it.
Yeah.
Going through all of that is totally worth it because it's such an amazing place to visit. But I still get really scared because I've had a few really bad incidences of food poisoning. And as a mother, I do not want my daughter to get that. I also don't want to be sick when I'm there with my family. So you've never had to do anything to, I don't know, to line your gut?
No, I don't think
You've never
so.
taken anything, even in the first year?
I think it's like you have the general, unwell moments, stuff that you get at home too. Nothing super drastic. I think being mindful about where you eat is important.
But do you eat street food?
No. In saying that, I went on a food tour in Bangalore. And if you are going to eat street food, I would recommend people do things like that. Go on a guided food tour, because then they know where the best places are and the safest places are, and they wouldn't take you to obviously something that's going to make you unwell. Also did a food tour in Goa, and it was great because we went around and tried all these different things. So you can definitely do that here in Chennai too. I know that. But other things, like I used to play in a band here in Chennai, and I remember once the singer, Joe, he came in with some snacks, and he came in with these little bags of snacks, and he looked at me and he goes, Rach, I recommend you stay away from these. It's your first year in Chennai. Let's just wait till you've been here a little longer. Wait till your gut's ready for it. So I trusted him, and I did the evening.
See, got to prepare that gut.
I think so, yeah. It's definitely, adjusting to it, sure. But yeah, touch wood. But yeah, I've never had any major issues, and the boys haven't either, my 2 boys.
What about the medical system over there? Particularly, you have had some medical issues, not with your immune system, but through your years.
The medical system here is definitely very advanced. There are some incredible doctors here. For me personally, as in my health, I've been really lucky. And if I've needed something, the speed in which it is completed is astounding.
Really?
I can go to, oh my gosh, it's so different. I can go to the doctor here at school, which we're really lucky that we have, and I'll speak to her about it, and she'll write a referral, and I can go and have an MRI in like 2 hours.
Wow, that is unheard of.
I know.
Gosh.
Yeah. I can get an X-ray immediately.
And so I guess that's the disparity between the haves and the have-nots in India. Yeah. I mean, that wouldn't even happen here, but we are very lucky in Australia with Medicare.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. That's definitely something I feel for. I feel really sad that that's what a lot of people here experience. They just don't have the money to go have a procedure done, or perhaps if they are in an accident, they break something. The money they have to fork out is it's exorbitant and really challenging for them. But we have an incredible insurance through our work, and we've never experienced that side of it. We're very, very lucky. We get vaccinations here when we need to. Yeah, it's all very similar to home.
So far, the expat life sounds pretty cushy in India.
It definitely is. Yeah, we're super lucky.
What, when you arrived, felt the biggest challenge, and now it's completely normal now?
Probably the traffic. It's the most organised chaos you'll ever see in your life.
So that's not a misconception.
No, not at all. No, not at all. It is very much like there are no rules, but there are, but there's not. And people know what they are, but they're not rules that we are familiar with. Like, indicators are optional. And you can, if you're in the right lane, you can go all the way to the left lane in one move and just hope that no one will hit you and everyone's just going to see what you're doing.
And you better not hit a cow. No,
you definitely can't hit a cow. That's not a good thing. But it's just such a different way of being. And I've driven a couple of times here and I don't enjoy it as such because I find it stressful. Whereas Gemma thinks it's the best thing ever because she pretends she's in Mario Kart and just like hits the horn, does all of that, and it just ends up being a bit of fun for her. Horns are very normal here. We were told in the beginning that initially when cars were, starting to be purchased in India, they found that the horns on the cars that were being imported would only last about 3 months and then they just pack up and they wouldn't work. So now in India, they have a specific type of horn that gets put in the cars here in India because their horns are used so much. That's what we've heard.
So they're a little overzealous on the horns.
I would say quite a lot.
I would love
to be
that.
Fair.
I'd be on the horn all the time.
That's exactly what Jem does. Jem thinks it's great. Like everyone else goes, beep, beep, I'm coming. And she's like, rah, get out of the way.
Well, of course, you mentioned last time you have a driver.
Yes.
This is another cushy part of the expat life and the teacher life over there. You have a driver. You have a nanny. Do you also have a cook?
Yes. Yes, we do.
Tell me more about these benefits. I want to know more.
It's amazing, Sal. We could not, just purely honestly, we could not live here without them. They are the most amazing people in our lives that help make our life here easier and provide the support that we don't have with our families. We have a cook who works for us part-time, which makes life amazing. And we have a housekeeper. So we have a team of 4 people that really, really, make our life so easy and we can just enjoy, being in Chennai. I remember when we were considering it, we were sort of encouraged to consider it because these are working opportunities and salaries that we can give to people that perhaps haven't had the opportunity to finish school. Like Carla, for example, she is incredibly intelligent and has so much intuition and understanding of things, but she was forced to leave school at 11 because she needed to go and help her mum work. So she wasn't able to finish that. I think she would have been a doctor or something. She's just so smart. So now we she works with us and we give her, a good salary and all that kind of stuff just to help, just to give her an opportunity to be successful. And she's just recently bought her own house and there's definitely reasons as to why we do it.
And it's completely normal, isn't it? It's not like you are living the high life. I mean, you're not right at the top or right at the bottom, but it's very normal.
No,
even
not at
for
all.
Local families. This isn't just for the expats.
It's just a way of life here because there is just such a broad spectrum of people.
Mm.
It is very normal to have help in your home, and it's definitely something that a lot of expats lean on, because otherwise I don't know how we do it without our families close by.
What has it been like for you raising a family as a same-sex couple in India?
Yeah, that's fun. For us personally at school, we are just another couple.
Mm.
There's no two ways about it. And our people that work with us obviously know we tread lightly when we go into like formal situations. Like, for example, if I have to go to the hospital for whatever reason, I've got to read the room first and sort of see who's around and who I'm working with. In saying that, there's loads and loads and loads of people who have got degrees from overseas, or they've worked overseas, and so they are more accepting of us. But also, being two women, we're quite lucky, and people just sort of just think that we're sisters, and sometimes we just don't correct it. We just go, okay, cool. Yeah, it's different for us. We're aware that we are different, but we're not made to feel that way. It's just something that we take with us depending on what scenario we're in. We have to sort of just play the role, I guess.
What is something India does better than Australia for families?
Kids are worshipped here. Kids are well and truly just absolutely worshipped.
Yeah.
Oh my word. It is just oh gosh, I don't know. That's just a big thing. You could be walking down the street and a stranger will stop and just start speaking to you in Tamil, and I have no idea what they're saying. And then next thing you know, they're like pinching, like not pinching, but sort of like doing a little light squeeze to one of a boy's faces, and then they kiss their hands. And it's just like, that's this little way of them like being like, oh gosh, they're adorable. Bharati, who is our like housekeeper, she calls she calls him Kamikuti, which is like Chilakuti, which is like cute, like squishy little thing, which is like a pet name.
Oh.
But I think the fact that the kids are just so loved here is something that is really, really cool.
Oh, I have heard that.
Yeah.
That sounds beautiful. And your boys are now multilingual, aren't they?
And yeah, it shocks me sometimes. I speak Dutch to the boys all the time, which is what I learned when I lived there for a year. And then now they have a bit of Tamil around them, because our people are all from Tamil Nadu and they speak Tamil. So I came home one time and they were talking and they said something to Cameron in Tamil and he just did it. And I looked at Carla and Bharati and I was like, what? What just happened? And they said, oh, we asked him da-da-da-da.
Wow.
And I was like, so he understood
Yeah.
you? They're like, yeah, no worries. I was like, wow, okay. It's just it's normal. It's just a normal part of everyday life. Jasper came home the other day and we were singing happy birthday because it was Gemma's birthday a couple of weeks ago. And then once we finished the first round in English, she started singing it in Mandarin.
Oh,
I was like,
what?
Excuse me, what?
Where did that come
And
from?
I was like, his teacher is from China. And and I was like, but I just didn't click. And then he just starts singing it in Chinese, singing it Mandarin.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
As we know, kids are sponges and they just absorb it all, don't they, when they're little? And out it comes when you least expect it.
Yep, including those awkward moments too.
Yes. Although, I've been using the same Japanese word since my daughter was born, and I'll ask her what it means and she just blankly stares at me like,
oh my gosh,
huh?
That's great.
What?
He's like, what? You speak Japanese, Mum? What do you mean?
Yeah, I know. And how does the school system work in India?
We're in a different school life because we're in an American school, in an international school. So our way of being and our education system is quite different to the local system. They have school 6 days a week. They have school on a Saturday.
Oh, do they?
Yep.
Ooh.
And they're in uniform.
Okay, that could be a deal breaker for some Aussie kids.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't really know
they
of
don't
any.
like that.
No, I don't know of any expat kids that go to local schools. That's not to say that it doesn't happen. It's definitely different. The teacher's role is to educate, but it's much more like chalk and talk from how I understand it. Like they stand at the board, they talk.
Chalk and talk?
Yeah, they lecture. So it's more of like they talk and write on the board, and that's sort of it.
Is that teacher lingo, chalk and talk?
I guess so, yeah, chalk and talk, yeah.
I'm going to drop that at my next parent-teacher interview.
Yes. So, are you more of a chalk and talk teacher, or are you more of like a collaborative? They'll be like, what? Yeah, it's different. And teachers are very, very highly respected here. But it's also, kids can fear and fall into line because they fear rather than because they feel comfortable.
Yes, a bit like how we learned in the 80s, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. I remember getting a duster thrown at me in grade 5.
Oh,
it's just so different.
We don't do that
No,
anymore.
definitely. Yeah, our school life here is very, very, very lucky. Like, we are very lucky.
Do your boys feel more Australian, international, Indian, Dutch, English?
I know, right? What are they? If you had asked Jasper like a couple of years ago where he's from, he would have said India.
He's your eldest, isn't he?
Yes, he's 5 now. He would just say, "Oh, I'm from India," and the confusion that would come in the face of the person that he was speaking to, be like, "What on earth is this kid on about?" So we have since taught him that he is Australian and English, but he lives in Chennai.
Yes.
So he's very clear about that now, but his accent is odd. It's a bit of this and a bit of that. Yeah.
That is great.
Yeah, eclectic.
Well, I've heard they say if a child spends the first 12 years of their life in a country that they will never lose the accent. So you got to stay there for another 7 years at least to have this.
Noted. Okay, got it. I'll get onto that.
And have they picked up on any Indian slang?
Oh, slang, no. But they definitely, they don't bat an eyelid when they hear another language, which is something that I think is quite different. In Jasper's class, there's, more Korean kids than anything else, a couple of Japanese kids. His closest friends are, there's two Danish girls, an Indian girl, and another Aussie girl, which is hilarious, Jasper and his little girlfriends. So, yeah, it's quite different.
They're in a really unique situation, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
A multicultural school within a multicultural country, another country. Yep. It's just such a great childhood, I think.
I think so too.
Very enriching. Yeah.
I remember very clearly at primary school when someone came from another country, and they came from Afghanistan, if I'm not wrong, and his name was different and he wrote differently, and it was just so many things, and I was just totally like, wow, what is this? I didn't really think about it as an Aussie kid in a Catholic school at home, that there were other places in the world that people could live. And that was probably my first exposure to it. Whereas there's our kids and the kids here just go, oh yeah, cool, no worries. Oh yeah, I'm going to Korea for the week, or I'm doing this, or I'm doing that, or it's very different.
As a kid, I was just obsessed with people from other countries, just anywhere other than Australia, because I was half Japanese living in this town where, there weren't many Asian people. I think that was just my way of wondering what else is out there and where do I fit in. And I was always obsessed with it. I wanted to go on exchange. I wanted to host exchange students. I would have loved to have been in your boys' shoes, even at 5. It's such an enviable position. But you mentioned last episode they also have a cute little head wobble.
Yeah, the head wobble is very important in India. The head wobble is a very, very common and understood thing. It has a variety of meanings. So it could be maybe a little bit of yes, maybe a little bit no, I'm not sure if I'm committing to this. Other times it's like, yep, cool, I got it. Sometimes a head wobble could be absolutely not, I'm not into this. It really does it depends on how you present it and how you wobble, I guess.
Yeah.
Has different.
It's very nuanced.
Yes, absolutely. And like when you say yes over here, the word is seti. And so you go, seti, okay. And you've got to do the head wobble at the same time. And it's different. I'm not very good at knowing what it is. I panic when I'm like, oh God, I don't know what you're trying to tell me here. So,
I see. Well, I bet your boys would totally get it.
Yeah.
Because that would be something you pick up naturally from living there being there every single day for 5 years of your life.
Yeah, I think so.
What do the boys love most about living there?
Oh, what do they love? I think the difference that they see every day. Like, nothing is the same from day to day. We were chatting, I was asking Gemma today, I said, what's a funny story or something that's happened that, is really out there? And Gemma's like, oh my gosh, I don't know how to say one. And I was thinking about it, and I remember once we were driving to school and Jasper looks at me and goes, Mama, that's not safe. And I said, what do you mean? And he goes, on the roof. And I was like, what? What do you mean? He goes, that man is standing on the roof and he's building with no shoes on. That's not safe.
I'm glad he knows that.
Oh gosh, he's our occupational health and safety officer. Another time, he sees someone that's literally sitting on a swing type thing, painting, but they're like 6 stories up. and there's no safety equipment, nothing. They're just hanging out with no shoes on, just painting the side of a building. There's just nothing's the same when they are in India. There's different things every day. There's different experiences. There's different things that they can see, which is really good for them.
Is that what you love the most as well? The spice of life?
Yeah, the variation. I love the fact that our community and the people we have around us here are truly magical. Like this has been the best community that I've ever worked in. I spent 7 years at Hoyts, and I absolutely loved that time as a young'un.
Hoyts the cinema?
Oh yeah. It was my favorite job. It was great. 7 years I was there.
That is actually like the number one job every teenager wants.
Yeah, absolutely. When I got
back in our day.
Yes, I loved it. I loved it very, very much. But this, as a professional, as in a teaching role, this is just so everyone just looks out for each other, and I think that's what I love the most about this.
Oh,
Cameron's been unwell a couple of times since we've been here, and he's had to spend a week in hospital. And my school community is just amazing, and it definitely makes life here just so special.
Well, let's start talking about travelling India with kids. So for those who are thinking of a family holiday to India, like me, I'm thinking about it.
Woohoo!
Where are some of your favourite getaway spots within India?
Definitely getting the Taj Mahal in with your kids is something that really should be done. I say this.
Okay, so it's not overrated from what I've heard.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Someone told me that. Scrap that.
Oh gosh.
It's amazing.
I haven't done it with kids, just also prefacing with that. I think we want to wait till our boys are a little bit older, but it's honestly, I will never get over how incredibly haunting and almost like it was make-believe when you see it. It's just, and a lot of people don't know the history behind it. And so you just think it's this monument and that's it. But no, it's a mausoleum. And there's two bodies.
I did not know that.
Yeah, see? And there's two bodies in there. We got a private guide, a private tour guide. Definitely want to make sure you get like a proper guide that's like they're a registered tour guide rather than someone just out the front, because they can tend to ask for more money and things like that. So we had like a legit tour guide, shall I say. This particular person was able to tell us all these different things about it, and we get there at sunrise and it's already pretty busy, but yeah, I think the Taj was amazing. The craftsmanship, the intricate work of like the pillars that are there, it almost feels a little bit like Middle Eastern with its vibe of the tiles and the marble and and then you go inside and it's dark. Yeah, it's incredible. It's definitely cool to see. I think so anyway.
And what age do you think is appropriate for kids?
I think definitely older than the 5 and the 3-year-old that we have, because we also want them to remember it, like they'll be, oh yeah, I've been there and I remember. It might be a bit overwhelming for them with lots of people at this point. And we want them to sort of be able to say, oh wow, yeah, I do remember that story, or remember when we went to the Taj. A little bit older, anything from maybe 6 onwards, I think being able to explain what it is helpful too. This is where these people are, they're buried, and so on and so forth. Yeah, it's incredible. It literally looks like it's painted onto the skyline. It's just, it's bizarre.
Wow. I love places like that. Yeah, okay. So definitely not overrated.
No, I don't think so. It takes a bit of a schlep to get there, like a 4-hour drive from Delhi, but it's definitely worth it.
So when you do that, does your driver drive you there?
So you could definitely drive yourself if you're so inclined. I would not recommend, if this is your first time in India, don't drive.
Okay.
It'll just stress you out and not, won't let you enjoy the experience. We hired a driver, which is amazing, because that's what I would recommend that people do. They find a company and they get one driver and one car for the time that they are going to be doing Agra and the Taj and things like that. Because when you land in Delhi, they can drive you from there to Agra. Then you get there, you stay overnight, probably the night before you go into the Taj, because you want to be there for sunrise. Then you spend the day there at the Taj, or however long you want to spend, and then you go on and the driver will take you back. So it's having one driver is what I would recommend, and hiring someone while you're up there.
What are some of the other must-see places with kids?
I mentioned this last time, but Kerala was and the houseboats in Kerala was so cool.
Yep. Ever since you mentioned Kerala to me, I have heard everyone talking about it. I hear it everywhere.
No way.
Everyone seems to love it, yeah.
The people in Kerala are just delightful. So many of my colleagues are from Kerala, and they just have this kindness and this warmth about them. And the houseboats, like a home, we have these houseboats that look like a rectangle, right? And they just sort of float on the water, and that's it. But these are so different. They're made out of like a natural material.
Yeah.
And the guy that drives the boat, he sits right at the front, like at the peak of the boat.
Oh.
And there's no like grand steering wheel or whatever else. He just sits there like on a chair and just drives the boat. And you have this like dining area, which is the opposite of, like, it's all very natural. And the windows, there's no glass or anything, but it's like a thatched window. And you have them lifted up when you're going through different areas. And then when you're in narrow spaces, you get told, quick, windows in, and you have to like flick up this stick and the windows come down.
Oh, and do you have the boat to yourself?
Yes, you can definitely have the boat to yourself. We had it when we went. Well, we just did a day trip. Some people do overnight trips, and it's just very cool. It's a very cool experience.
Oh, I'm looking at some photos of them now.
Mm-hmm. They're so different,
That
right?
is not what I imagined. Yeah, they are. They've got like thatched sides and roofs, and they're kind of, it looks like they're made out of straw, like a straw handbag almost.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's like
a cute little straw handbag on a boat floating along the river.
And that's what I mean about India.
With palm trees in the background.
Yeah, you can't picture it. You can't comment on it until you've experienced it, until you really get here. And every city, every state is different. Nothing is the same.
Mm-hmm.
And like,
how different is the north from the south?
I would say it's pretty different. I've been up to Mumbai, and obviously I landed in Delhi to go to the Taj, but the intensity is so much more because there's so many more people. We live, in an amazing house here, and then up in Delhi and Mumbai, the teachers also live in really great places, but they're a lot smaller because they obviously don't have the same amount of space, and the cost of living is much higher up that way than what it is down here. But yeah, the food is different. The people are different. It's just such a different thing. Like down here, we don't, yes, we have people that are sort of at traffic lights and they try and, sell you things and whatever else. But those people are usually not from Tamil Nadu. They're not from the south. They come from other places and they come into Chennai and try and make money that way.
Mm-hmm.
But in the north, like I remember being in Mumbai and there was kids that would do it, and it just really blew my mind. And they'd be trying to ask for money and they'd be like dancing in front of your car. That was quite different. But yeah, the north is really different. The food is very different too. Down here, there's lots of breads and, different flavors. It's just a completely incredible country. You can ski in India.
You can ski?
Yeah, you can do everything. Like, honestly.
Well, I love the snow.
I do.
Tell me more.
It's up north somewhere, and people go skiing.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess it's so close to the tallest mountain in the world, so there's got to be snow.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's it.
All right, moving on. Is there anywhere else in India that's a must visit for you?
I think Varanasi is a very popular place, which is where the River Ganges is, and it's where it's a lot of ceremony, and people think it's like super, super holy in the water, so they bathe in it, and when someone passes away, they cremate people there, like very openly, and then they put the bodies on a raft of sorts. And on the Ganges. And I wouldn't recommend doing it with kids. So if people are traveling by themselves, it's a valuable experience. It's a big learning experience.
Yeah, very spiritual.
Yeah, and perhaps quite confronting. Like a lot of friends that have done it say, it's definitely, you need to only a couple of days there because it can be really overwhelming and quite different for us as Westerners to see it. There's Rajasthan, there's Udaipur, there's Jaipur. There's so many places to go. It really is. You can find everything that you would want to do here. And it's a massive country.
Just how it's coming next week with my 10-year-old. Top 3. Taj Mahal.
Taj, I would say get to Kerala and definitely do the houseboat and experience what like Kerala people are like. I would say definitely those 2. And then come and visit me in Chennai. Duh.
Yes, of course. Well, yeah. And would you take me around to all the markets to eat all the delicious street food and to see all the spices? Because that's what I really would love to experience, just being part of the culture and the life. The colour.
Oh, the colour's unreal. We have this amazing company here in Chennai called Story Trails, and they I believe they're in other places in India too, and they will take you on walking tours And so you can do the food tour.
Oh, yes.
And they'll take you through the spices and the colours and the fruits and veggies and the homewares. It's a total eye-opener.
I adore things like that. And you know what? My daughter's getting that little bit older now at 10 where she's starting to show interest or at least not complain as much when we do things like that. Because they start to try more food at 10, you know.
Yeah, and start to realise that there's other things around. Yeah, I was just thinking, it just slipped my mind before. I'm not sure. I mean, I think we would take the boys to this at some point. There's a slum in Mumbai called Dravi, and we went there obviously before kids, and that was also a really eye-opening experience because people assume slums are just that. People that don't have enough money, blah, blah, blah. And while there are those type of people.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking in my head. Why would Rach say this?
But it's only 1 square kilometre or something. Like it's not a big space, but there's a huge number of people that live there. But there's loads of factory work and manufacturing and like actual businesses that run in that slum.
Really?
And it's incredible. There's millionaires that grew up in the slum that have then got jobs out in Mumbai. And then they come back every night to the slum because that's their home, that's their community.
Is that what the movie's about? Slumdog Millionaire?
Well, where that opening scene was filmed, where they're running through that's Dravi, that's the slum.
I saw the movie years ago when it first came out, and I think it won Best Film, didn't it? It was, critically acclaimed. Everybody loved this one, and I'll have to watch it again. I don't remember exactly what happened.
Yeah, at the beginning, they're sort of like these, because actors here are just absolutely like looked up to like gods. And I think it's dreaming of this life.
The Bollywood scene?
Bollywood, Tollywood, Collywood, they've all got different names depending on which state they're from.
Yes, I think a lot of people don't realise that. The Bollywood is that from Bombay?
Yeah, I think so, from up north.
Is that why they called it Bollywood?
Yeah, I assume so. Like down, I'm not sure if we're Collywood or Tollywood, but I know that we're different down this way. But actors are huge. So when Slumdog Millionaire started and the movie came out, everybody was really shocked at what you see at the beginning of the film because it's all about these 2 young boys who are living in the slum and they're playing cricket and they use a toilet that looks very different to add to what we're used to. But they do this scene where they run through the slum. And it's a very narrow path, shall we say, and they run through it. And that's exactly what I did. I did exactly the same thing when I went to Dravi. So you experience that, and you have to turn almost sideways to run because of how narrow it is. But on either side, there's homes. That's just how they live.
Oh, wow.
There's pottery, there's leather goods. It's all made in Dravi, and they make money. And it's just their life. It's just how they know it.
Wow. And so you want to take the boys here when they're a little bit older or soon?
Yeah, I think when they're a little bit older, just because they may not have the vocabulary to be mature enough to go to that. Like they just, because they're obviously little, so they might be like, oh, why is it this? Why is it that? And rather than, appreciating it for what it is, not just perhaps not something that they're familiar with. But yeah, it's definitely an experience, and that's what India is.
Yeah, and I guess it would be hard as well because you don't want the people who live there to feel like they're on show. They're not a circus act that you've come to look at, they live in these tiny little places in the slums.
Yeah, you don't take photos in there because it's not a spectacle. You just at the end you can purchase for like a set of photos, or you can purchase sort of like the stock photos that are of Dravi, just to give you a sort of like that memory if you wanted to. But yeah, you're not allowed to take photos in there because it's not, it's people's homes and it's their lives. And you sort of, by you being there and buying anything that's there, you're, contributing to their economy.
Gosh, what an interesting place India is. It blows my mind hearing about it from you.
Now it's time for a new segment called Kids Corner. It's where the mini travellers get to ask the questions. Some big, some small, and some a little bit quirky.
Hi, Rachel. This is Piper. We have the colour run at our school, and according to my research, the colour run originated in India and Nepal. Is that true? And if so, have you experienced it? Is it fun?
Oh, that's an excellent question. Holi is a festival that is from India. It's a Hindu festival, and it's a festival of colours where spring is about to come in. It's always like celebrating the arrival of spring. It is definitely India and Nepal, but it's from the north. We do celebrate here a little bit, like there is a colour run sort of like Holi experience here at school, and they grab the powder and they throw it on each other. But it's not a huge festival here, just because we're in the south.
you guys have your own festivals.
There's always something happening in India. I mean, I think that's just the country in general. It never sleeps. It's a bit like New York. Yeah, we have Diwali, and that is huge.
Ah, yes, of course.
Diwali is this festival of lights. Oh my word, it's incredible. And that's all around India. If you can imagine, like, there's these enormous scaffolding structures, and they use coloured fairy lights, I guess, almost like Christmas lights, to design these gods on these enormous scaffolds, and they just light up, and they light up the sky. So when you're driving down like the East Coast Road, which is at one of our main streets down this way, you just see lights of these huge structures, and you think that, you know, one night it's like, oh, they're nice, you got 2 or 3, and then the next night like, wow, there's 73. And things just pop up, and the fireworks that are here during that time, oh my word, it is borderline 24/7. They're trying to sort of bring in something where it's only during a particular time frame that you're allowed to actually, you know, set your fireworks off.
Oh, that sounds boring.
It is a little bit, but as a parent, it can also be really
Yes.
challenging to try and like
Totally understand.
yeah, convince your kids that the fireworks aren't going to come inside.
Yeah, little ones get pretty scared of fireworks, actually, don't they?
Yeah, and we can have some big boomers. They get these really deep sounding ones, and because there's no, you know, safety measures in place, they can set off these enormous fireworks right outside your front door.
Oh my gosh. Insane.
But that's a very colourful festival. We have something called Pongal, which is a huge harvest festival down here in South India. Pongal is actually also a food, and you can have savoury Pongal or you can have sweet Pongal, and it's a rice and lentil dish. It's mostly celebrated here in Tamil Nadu. It marks the month of, it's honouring the sun god and nature, essentially. It's like they clean the house out. It reminded me a little bit of Lunar New Year, where they clean the house, clean everything out, old belongings are gotten rid of.
Yep.
Then you have the second day is the main festival. Families cook this Pongal dish.
Mm-hmm.
Can be sweet, can be savoury, and that's what they share and eat. Third day is where they honour their cattle and honour the livestock.
Right.
And so what you see is after this particular day, like buffaloes have these, like, their horns painted and they're adorned in all these like amazing shawl type things. And the final day, is a day for, you know, exchanging gifts and visiting family. And that's a especially Tamil Nadu thing.
Yeah. What's that called?
Pongal. Pongal.
Pongal. Here's another kid's question.
What do your kids take to school for lunch in India?
School lunch boxes and snacks are Jasper's favourite thing. And his snack box generally tends to have all sorts of things in it. But one of the favourite things for me and the boys actually is a thing called makana, and it's like lotus seeds. And they're puffed. It ends up being a little bit like a puffed rice, but my goodness, it is delicious. It is so good.
Well, I love lotus chips, and so does my daughter.
So if you can find some, it's makana, and you can get it, we can get it here flavoured and all sorts. Also called fox nuts.
Yeah, okay.
Fox nuts, I know, a little bit different than makana, but there you go. So they're a big thing in his lunch box, in his snack box, sorry. Then for lunch, when I order it for him, like on Monday, we have a vegetarian day here at school, because we're a very earth conscious school, and so we don't have meat on Mondays. So he'll have like a cheese pizza.
Wow, that's great. That's great. Sorry, that is really good. So is that common in India? I mean, there's so many vegetarians.
Yeah, it's definitely like vegetarian options are massive here. Vegan's a little bit harder, but vegetarian, there's so many people. It's a normal thing here. So if you are a vegetarian, you're coming to the right country to give your body options of things to eat.
Yes, yeah, okay. Yeah, sorry, continue. So the school does vegetarian Mondays?
School does vegetarian Mondays, and then for the rest of the week, there are options. So there could be an Indian option they would have, or a Western option, or perhaps more of an Asian option. There's just things. You can just order whatever. Like,
yum. I want this school to just cater my dinner, please. I mean, this is great.
I know,
Something
right?
different every day of the week.
And it works for us too.
Yeah, so you don't have to make lunch every day.
No, it's one thing that I really don't like doing is cooking, but it is really easy, and the food is healthy, and they get like it's a bit like a thali plate is what they call it here. It's like a big round metal plate, and they have 4 or 5 smaller sort of bowls in there, and they fill each one of the little bowls with something, whether it's a side dish or a sauce or something, and you get your main rice and your topping, and it all comes on this thali plate. and that's sort of how the food is presented.
Oh, yum.
Yeah.
Like a little
Yeah,
platter
kind of.
choices. Kids love eating that
Oh,
way.
yeah, absolutely. It gives them a lot of different tastes and a lot of flavors. It's kind of like the size of a clock, like a wall clock that you would have. So it's a decent sized plate. It's bigger than a dinner plate, I would say.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah,
That's
it's huge. Like often if you go and have like your local food, I would order it for lunch or something. I'd go up there, I'd be like, no, less rice, please. Oh my goodness, less rice, please. Because it's just such a staple.
What are some of the delicious dishes that you think that kids, Western children who come to India will really enjoy?
Yeah, people think automatically that if it's Indian, it's going to be really spicy and it's going to be difficult to eat. And particularly in South India, that's not necessarily the case. We have things like idli and dosa and simple breads. Like that's a really big thing in India, having like paratha or roti, and there's amazing different things you can eat.
Oh, my daughter loves roti.
Yeah.
Loves roti. Yeah.
And you can get
same.
Yeah, I know.
How could you not? It's just buttery goodness, isn't it?
Absolutely. And you can have different flavors of it as well. It's definitely the idli is a great thing, and that's what they encourage a lot of kids to eat because it's really quite healthy. I think it's a rice flour, but you can get everything. You can get spicy foods. You don't want for anything. So there's loads of vegetarian food. Like paneer is something that is a bit like a tofu, but perhaps with more flavor. And I love it. I love it.
You know what I loved as a kid? Samosas.
Oh, yeah. That's a thing too. Samosa.
Are samosas common in Chennai?
Yeah. We have samosas.
Because I know a lot of dishes come from different parts of India. Yeah, I love a samosa.
I don't know if it comes from Chennai, but we definitely have them here.
Is it hard to travel India with an allergy? Like there's so many people who are gluten intolerant now.
You can navigate allergies like that, gluten intolerant. It's not as easy as perhaps being at home would be, just because of the language barrier, I think. And you can't always express to people what it is that you are trying to, navigate. Like obviously nuts and things like that. That could be quite dangerous for a lot of people, and nuts are really used here a lot. So I personally haven't experienced a whole lot with allergies because thankfully, I'm very lucky that I don't have any, and neither do the kids. But it might be something that would need a little bit of research. If you are traveling and you do have someone with an allergy, I would encourage bringing foods and snacks that you know that you can eat and bring them with you so that you can have a backup of something, because you don't find like a health food store that would have those kind of things like you would at home. So if you bring it, you'll know that you're always going to have something.
Do you ever see on menus like a gluten-free option or anything like that, which you see here all the time now? It's just so common.
I don't know. Not that I can remember. There's always vegetarian options, like always. But for those kind of allergies, gluten and things like that, nuts, not that I can think of. If you were in a more, not posh, but that's essentially what I'm getting to. If you're in like a nice hotel and you're eating there, you'd be more likely to be able to get what you need. But if you're just at like a local restaurant, that would be a lot more challenging. And I think language has a lot to do with it, because you can't express what you need to say.
I mean, there are so many languages in India.
Oh my gosh.
English is still one of the main ones, isn't it?
Yeah, you can definitely get by with the English, but it's still challenging. Like, it's not always as easy as what you think, like going to Singapore or something like that. But even in Singapore, you have people that didn't speak English. So, yeah.
Yeah, and when it comes to something like a nut allergy, you need to know exactly what you're getting. So here we go, Rach. We're doing the Fast Five again, Indian edition.
Ready.
What is one thing you can't live without in India?
The support of our community and our people.
Tuk-tuk or car? Which do you prefer?
Depends on the time of year. If it's super hot, definitely a car. Otherwise, tuk-tuk's also fun.
Who has better street food, India or Australia?
Oh, that's a really hard one. India. I would say India. More flavour.
Yeah. I'm definitely going to say India. Do we even have, what's our street food? A meat pie?
Yeah, or a Vegemite sandwich? I don't know. Like Vegemite scroll. That's a good bit of street food. Yes.
Vegemite scroll, that is. Okay. Oh, favourite snack you miss from Australia?
Oh, twisties and Allen's lollies. I could literally swim in a tub of Allen's lollies. I love them.
Oh, can you get them over there?
Nope. Which is probably a good thing, because I would definitely have diabetes.
Twisty. Speaking of twisties, I just saw a pickle flavored twisty the other day, and
Ooh.
a blue sour twisty as well, which was disgusting.
Oh, that does not excite me.
No, they were
The
gross.
pickled ones I would be down for.
They might be okay. Yeah, I didn't buy them, but they might be okay. Finally, favorite Indian snack.
I love onion uttapam. And uttapam is made of the same stuff as the idli, but it's cooked differently. Idli is steamed and uttapam is a bit more fried. It's kind of like a pancake of sorts, but thicker. And they have this spice that they put on top with like onion and oh my gosh, I love it. It comes with like a coconut chutney or a tomato chutney. And it's not like a chutney that we know. It's a bit more like a gravy, but thicker. And I just love it.
Oh my gosh, the flavors, the colors, the spice of life in India. You're just bringing it all to the forefront of my mind right now. I want to be there, Rach.
Do it, girl. Come on down. Come and see us.
Doesn't India just sound like a destination that stimulates all the senses all at once? It's colourful, chaotic and fun and deeply spiritual all at the same time. A huge thank you to my friend Rachel for hanging in there and persevering with me. I had a terrible head cold and sinus infection, which you could probably hear. It's all gone now. But thank you so much, Rachel, for sharing your unique perspective on raising a family in India. And now, can I ask a favour? If you enjoyed this episode, I would love if you could please hit the follow button, the subscribe button on wherever you're listening, because it really helps people discover Snacks and Suitcases, the podcast, and I can get more episodes out there to more people. And if you have a moment to spare, leaving a review makes a huge difference too. Next week, I've got a whole lot of family packing tips, but until then, happy travels.
And don't forget the snacks.